السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على السلام. حي على السلام. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان لكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد إن أصدق حديث كتاب الله عز وجل وأحسن هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة في الإسلام بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise due to Allah. We praise Him and we extol Him. We said after الصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله محمد ابن عبد الله وعلى آله وذرياته من سن بسنة إلا يوم الدين. Amma ba'd. Today, my dear brothers and Iman, the objective of our khutbah today is to clarify some misconceptions regarding sickness and seeking the appropriate cure and tawakkul, the real meaning of reliance upon Allah Azza wa Jal, according to the correct, authentic understanding of the Quran and Sunnah, bi'idhnillah, billahi tawfiq. When Allah Azza wa Jal lies our success. One of the reasons why I've chosen to touch on this topic is due to the fact that we are all living in this pandemic known as COVID-19. And over the past 3 months, if not daily, it's every other day or many times in a day, I've been contacted by people asking me about this whole situation regarding the virus of COVID-19. They're asking me as if I am an expert in the field of infectious disease or science. They're asking me as if I have some type of a master's degree in some level of medicine. At the same time, they're asking me or sending videos to me, asking me to examine such videos and then ask me, have you watched the video? What do you think? Is this whole thing some type of a government conspiracy to control the masses? At the same time, they're asking me, has this virus been created by them setting up the new 5G towers around the world that was also created in China? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And the list goes on and on and on. We know that Allah said in His book, فَاسْأَلْ عَلَى الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask those who know if you do not know. What does that mean? That you can ask any imam about all of the affairs that are taking place in the dunya? An imam does not mean that he is qualified and he has all of the knowledge of the fiqh al-waqiyah, of all of the current affairs that are taking place in the world. This is an incorrect approach to the knowledge. Allah says, ask those who know. If you do not know, it means ask the person who is knowledgeable in such field regarding that issue that you have. You ask the appropriate person, the appropriate knowledge, with the appropriate manner of asking. This is wrong, my dear Iman, from one perspective, to just ask anyone who is considered as an imam or a person who is considered as a person of da'wah regarding these issues that are affecting state, property, health, well-being, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Without having a sound basis in the Quran and authentic Sunnah. And the majority of the time, they're asking questions based solely on conjecture and suspicion, not on the basis of the Quran and authentic Sunnah, or medically sound research that they may have been a student of knowledge, of that field of knowledge, of medicine or science, so they can have munaqasha, discussions along those lines. But it's not appropriate to approach any imam just solely on the basis of some YouTube video that you watched. Yesterday, my dear Iman, it has been 100 days since the World Health Organization has declared COVID-19 to be a a global pandemic. It's been over the past 3 months, hundreds of thousands of people around the world have died as a result of this virus. Thousands of seniors in this part of the world and other parts of the world have been in captivity for over 3 months up until today in their rooms. They're not allowed out of their rooms to even get fresh air or see the sun for over 3 months. And they're not allowed any visitation for over 3 months. Masajids all over the world have been closed. The grand masajid of Mecca and Medina, the Haramain Sharifain, were closed in the holiest month of the year, in Ramadan. No Taraweeh, no Taraweeh, no Eid. Allahu Akbar. This is all due to COVID-19. Also, at the onset of this whole pandemic, at the very onset, in early January, February, March, especially at the beginning of March, there are some imams, not here, but in the Indian subcontinent, issuing fatwa, issuing rulings that this thing should not be listened to. You should not listen to this thing. This is a government conspiracy. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us. As a result of their misguided fatwa, many people were killed. And they became super spreaders. I'm not going to name names because I know the names and I know the organizations which spread this ignorance amongst the people. Their fatwas were responsible for many people to be killed, and they caused to become super spreaders in the Indian subcontinent on the basis of one or two authentic hadith. For example, they would quote the hadith which is in the Sahihain, Bukhari and Muslim, La adwa wa la tayr, that there is no contagious disease that can be spread, and there's no superstitions in Islam. They will quote this hadith and other hadith to validate their claim and say there is no better place to die than in the masjid. This is a conspiracy they would claim for people not to go to the masajid. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And those same individuals that were raising their fist and advising their people, ill-advising their followers of this, are in hiding. When the government calls them and want to question them regarding what they said and what has been recorded of them saying, they run in hiding and claim that they are in self-quarantine. This, my dear Mashallah the Imam, is the result of those who want to self-study online and make up rulings or fatwa with verses of the Quran and Sunnah, but use them to their own political agendas. Use them to misconstrue them for their own selfish motives, rather than taking those rulings to a bona fide scholar and to find out whether these things and way I'm understanding it is right or wrong. Should I spread this? All of these conspiracy theorists remind me of a story of a man who was what they would call a person who loved to read books. He acquired a lot of book knowledge, as they say. He was self-taught. And he was always advised to go and sit with the ulama, the scholars, Rabbaniyin, Rasikhun fil ilm, as Allah termed them as, those who are firmly grounded in knowledge. Go and sit with them. He said, no, I can read, so there's no need for me to sit with them. I can read, I can deduce. The same way they read and they deduce, I can do the same thing. So he read in a book, Ashifa fi Hayat al-Sawda. He missed the nuqtat al-ba, the dot underneath the ba, and he said that the cure is in the black snake. It should have been read, Ashifa fi Habbat al-Sawda. The cure is in the black seed. So he went looking for the black snake and it's poisonous, so he died as a result of his search of knowledge. And it became a method, an example amongst the small, صغير طلب العلم, the small, young students of knowledge, that this person's knowledge killed him. He died as a result of his knowledge. If he would have only asked. So, my dear Mashallah the Imam, as we all know, as level-headed Muslims, that infection is something that happens by the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal. But this does not mean that we should not take our precautions. For somebody to read a hadith, la adwa wa la tayr, there's no infection and there's no suspicion. Just take that at face value, and we don't wash our hands, we don't do practice social distancing, we don't want to cover our mouths when we're going out in public spaces. This is jahl. This is ignorance. Let me point out that there are many narrations that clarify the importance of taking our precautions in terms of medicine. The Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, if you hear of an outbreak, a plague, a disease in an area, then don't go to that place. If you are in that area, then you should not leave it. Also in the Sahih Muslim, Jabir reported that the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, لِكُلِ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٍ وَإِذَا أَصِيبَ دَوَاءُ دَاءٍ بَرَاءَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. Every disease has a cure. If a cure is applied to the disease, it is relieved by the permission of Allah the Almighty. Also in the Sunan of Ibn Majah, Abdullah bin Mas'ud reported that the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ دَاءٍ إِلَّا أَنزَلَهُ دَوَاءً عَلَمَهُ مَنْ عَلَمَهُ وَجَاهِلُهُ مَنْ جَاهِلَهُ. That Allah Azza wa Jal did not send down, Anzal Allah, did not send down any disease, virus, viral infection, except that He also sent down its appropriate cure. The one who knows it, the one who has knowledge of it, knows it. The one who is ignorant of it, they are ignorant of it. Allahu Akbar. So it's not correct for any of us to quote a person of knowledge, which can be a person of book knowledge, or for us to quote a hadith, could be an authentic hadith, or a verse of Quran out of context, or so as to belittle our fellow Muslims by saying, why are you so afraid? Tawakkal ala Allah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When you hear people speaking like that, don't let it shake your iman. When the Prophet ﷺ said, La adwa, there is no contagious, it means that disease are not transmitted in and of itself. It means that a healthy person will not necessarily get sick by a person who has an infection or a disease, except by the decree of Allah, the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal. If a person mixes, a healthy person mixes with a sick person, this is a cause for the effect of the disease to spread, if Allah intends that disease to spread. But this does not mean that it will definitely happen. If a person that has a cold or is sick, that will necessarily catch the disease. It happens if Allah wills it to happen. But at the same time, we must take our necessary precautions. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, "Khudh hidrakum." Take your precautions. We must take necessary precautions. It does not mean that you're weak. So don't let anybody put that type of waswasa, doubt into your heart that means that you're weak. Because suspicion is not a basis in Islam. And we should not spread suspicion amongst the ummah. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us to better understand ourselves, the purpose behind sickness, and the blessing of health according to the Quran and authentic Sunnah. Amin, amin, amin. Bismillah, wa salatu salam, ala Rasulullah, wa ala alihi, wa sallam, wa huda, wa ba'd. My dear brother Mashallah the Imam, in Islam, for us to seek medical treatment, it does not mean that we just blindly follow the advice of a physician. No. It does not mean that they are correct 100% of the time. There isn't anything wrong with seeking a second or a third opinion. Allah says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask those who have been endowed with the knowledge, if you do not know. We should not become witch doctors and try and cook up things and say eat this or drink this. No, we have come far beyond that at this stage, in this era. But alhamdulillah, we have many people who are very highly specialized in many fields of medicine. So we should ask. We should seek the advice and get a second. If we do not feel content with the advice, there isn't anything wrong with getting a second or a third opinion. Because our tawakkul, our trust and reliance upon Allah Azza wa Jal will not be complete without resorting to the necessary means which Allah Azza wa Jal has provided us on this earth. Wallahu alhamd. And all of this is in line with the Quran and Sunnah, that we seek the medical advice and we find the correct remedy to help us, to help others. And lastly, we have to be aware of the opinions of the opinionated. In this day and age that we're living in, we're going to find many people who are very opinionated because of the advent of the internet. They Google something, they YouTube something, and now they become an expert overnight. They start binge watching on one subject, one video after another video. Analytics, they start to monitor you, what you're watching, and they start sending that thing on your feed, and you say, oh, it's from Allah. So but they don't understand that they're sending this to you because you search for these things. This isn't something miraculous. It's not a miracle. We search for these things, so the people who are behind the scenes working at Google, they send you things according to your search habits. So this isn't anything miraculous that you've got in your inbox or that you've got on your YouTube search page. Our tawakkul is connected to us not just listening to the hearsay or those opinions of those who are overly opinionated. Allah has reminded us in Surah Hujurat, verse number 6. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu. When perverted transgressor comes to you with information, binaba'in, with news, information, then we should clarify, we should verify, we should confirm that information before we start spreading it or we start to apply it within ourselves. Every Muslim should have that basic level of understanding, that general workable level of understanding, that we should not just take everything that is said to us because they show us a video or they give us an ayat or hadith. We have to understand where these things are to be applied and if we can apply them. How do we understand them? When it happened. But as believers, we have to walk with wisdom, hikmah. We should not be like sheep or lambs to the slaughter. We know Allah Azza wa Jal, He guides whomsoever He wants. And Allah Azza wa Jal guides each and every one of us to follow the path which has been set for us to achieve the best things in life, idhnillah. And Allah Azza wa Jal allows, on the other side of the coin, those to stray, whomsoever He allows to stray. Man yahdillah huwa yahdi. Whoever Allah allows to be guided, then they have been guided. Whoever Allah allows to be straight, then they have been left astray. In regards to the Habatu Sauda, there are many narrations. There are many ahadith about the black seed. The Prophet said that Habatu Sauda, alayka bihada Habatu Sauda. Use the black seed. Another narration, he said, Al-Habatu Sauda, shifa' min kulli da illa sam. Qila, ma sam ya Rasulullah? Sam al-maut. He said, O Sallallahu eat, use, make benefit of the black seed, because it is a cure for all ailments, all diseases except sem, poison. They asked, what is this thing? He said, it is death. but it is old age. So what does this mean? That we should take a cup, a spoonful, a handful of black seed every day? No, we have to understand. We have to put the hadith together and consult the tibba, the people who have the knowledge and the understanding of how to use the habbat al-sawda. We can crush up 7 or 5 seeds and mix with water or with hot water or with honey and eat. This is beneficial. But if we eat handfuls of black seed, it will be harmful, toxic, it can kill us. Remember that Ibrahim alayhi salam, the friend of Allah, he said, الذي خلقني فهو يهدي والذي هو يطعمني ويسقي وإذا مرضت فهو يشفي. إلى آخر آية. Ibrahim alayhi salam, the Khalil of Ar-Rahman, the friend of the most merciful, he said, when I fall sick, he is the one who cures me. When I need guidance, he guides me. When I'm hungry, he feeds me. When I'm thirsty, he gives me drink. When I'm sick, he cures me. What does that mean? That if I fall sick, Allah Azza wa Jalla allows it to be cured by the means that he has provided for us. We can take so many ashab, things from the earth. These things have been made into tablet form. We shouldn't say, no, inshallah, I'll just, rough it out. Inshallah, I'll be okay. No. Allah Azza wa Jalla provided us with these things, and we should take the medical advice from the experts, and inshallah, we will become better, bi'idhnillah. Bi'idhnillah. But it's not from hikmah for us to spread a disease. If we have any type of symptoms, then we should stay home. If you have to work and you have a sickness, if you have to go to school, you have a sickness, you should stay home. The teachers, they say stay home. The work, they say stay home. Bring a doctor's note and stay home. So as not to spread the disease at the work or in the school. Why you want to spread the disease in the masjid? Say, no, it's the best place to die. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Mediba salam iman, maut and life is not in our hands. We did not know we were going to be here, and we have no idea when we're going to die and by what means we're going to die. All we have is what we have with us in our possession right now, which is whatever food and drink that we have is what Allah has destined for us to have. Whatever we have and whatever, inshallah, we will have in the future, it's been written for us قبل 50,000 سنة, 50,000 years before the creation of the heavens and the earth. So we have to have that type of yaqeen in our hearts, that firm belief that whatever we have is a blessing from Allah, and we should appreciate that blessing. If we happen to fall ill, we stay in our homes and we better ourselves. There's no better cure than rest. Any health professional would say one of the best cures for COVID or any disease is rest. Relax. Sometimes we get caught up in the rat race and we burn ourselves out, running on a cup of coffee for the whole day or more than the day, for days, coffee or 2 a day, or that's all we run on. We burn ourselves out. We just need rest. May Allah Azza wa Jal help all of us and bless us in our means, in our sustenance, in our rizq. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless us in our families, in our health, in our wealth. And may Allah Azza wa Jal help and guide those who are misguided and use the ayat and hadith in a distorted way. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide them and bring them back. Radhum ira deen radin jamilan. Amin, amin, amin. Illa wa malaikatu saluna ala nabi. Ya illadhina aminu. Sallallahu alaihi اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره وقنا عذاب النار.